They told you real estate always goes up. They said you were throwing money away on rent. But in 2026, that story is collapsing in real time. We're watching housing markets crack across America, not with whispers, but with hard data that cannot be ignored. Prices down 30, 40, even 50% in specific neighborhoods. Insurance costs are exploding by 300%. Inventory piling up for months. If you're thinking about buying or already own in these markets, the next 15 minutes could save you from financial disaster. Let's break down the 10 cities where the bubble is bursting right now. Welcome back to the channel. We cut through the real estate hype and show you what's actually happening in housing markets across America. While realtors post "now's the time to buy" content, we're digging into market data that tells a very different story. In 2026, we're seeing a housing correction that's been building since rates spiked in 2022. Mortgage rates hovering between 6.5 and 7.5% have frozen buyers out. Meanwhile, sellers who bought at the peak are realizing they're underwater. The result? Markets that surged 40, 50, even 60% during the pandemic boom are now giving back those gains fast. But this isn't happening everywhere equally. Certain cities are experiencing crisis-level conditions, inventory explosions, price collapses, insurance catastrophes, and population exodus. These aren't temporary blips. These are structural problems that will take years to resolve. Today we're counting down the 10 U.S. cities where the housing bubble is actively bursting. We'll show you the specific data, price drops, inventory levels, insurance costs, migration patterns that prove these markets are in serious trouble. Whether you're a potential buyer, current homeowner, or investor, you need to see what's happening before you make your next move. We're going from night 10 down to number 1, building to the market, facing the most severe crisis. Let's start the countdown. Number 10, Boise, Idaho. Boise became the poster child for pandemic migration. Tech workers fled expensive coastal cities, driving median home prices from $350,000 in 2019 to $575,000 by late 2022. That 64% surge made Boise the hottest market in America. Now it's one of the coldest. Median prices have dropped 18% from peak, falling back to $470,000. But that headline number hides deeper pain. In subdivisions built during the boom, areas like Southeast Boise and Meridian, listings are sitting for 90-plus days, with sellers cutting prices 25 to 35%. Inventory has exploded to 4.2 months of supply, triple the pandemic-era levels. New construction that sold off-plan in 2021 now sits empty, with builders offering $50,000 in incentives. The remote work reversal crushed demand. Tech companies mandating return to office killed the migration wave. Meanwhile, property taxes jumped 20% as Idaho reassessed at peak values. Homeowners who bought in 2022 are now house poor, paying $3,200 monthly for homes worth $100,000 less than the purchase price. If you're considering Boise, ask, is remote work guaranteed long-term? Can you absorb another 10-15% price drop? Are you prepared for property tax increases? The California equity that drove this market has dried up. Without that demand, Boise is overcorrecting hard. This is what happens when a small market experiences big city price appreciation without big city fundamentals. Number 9, Austin, Texas. Austin was the tech darling. Oracle, Tesla, and dozens of startups relocated here, creating a gold rush mentality. Median home prices rocketed from $400,000 in 2019 to $650,000 by mid-2022. The narrative was unstoppable. No state income tax, booming jobs, lifestyle paradise. That narrative is breaking. Prices are down 12% from peak, with median homes now at $570,000. In suburbs like Pflugerville, Round Rock, and Leander, price cuts of 20-30% are standard. Days on market have stretched to 75, compared to 15 during the frenzy. New construction has flooded the market. Developers overbuilt spectacularly, adding 25,000 units in 2023 alone. Inventory now sits at 5.1 months, the highest since 2011. The tech layoffs hit hard. Companies that relocated with fanfare are now cutting headcount. Tesla's Austin workforce reductions rippled through the economy. Property taxes, already notorious in Texas, jumped another 18% as appraisals caught up to peak prices. Homeowners are paying $8,000, $12,000 annually on properties now worth significantly less. Insurance costs are spiking too. Texas homeowners insurance has increased 35% since 2021, driven by catastrophic weather events. Add 7% mortgage rates, and affordability has collapsed. Buyers who could afford $650,000 at 3% can now only afford $475,000 at current rates. If you're eyeing Austin, ask, is the tech job guaranteed? Can the local economy absorb this inventory? Are you factoring in property tax escalation? The growth story is real, but the market overshot badly. Number 8, Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix was the ultimate pandemic winner. Sunbelt migration, retiree influx, and California exodus drove median prices from $290,000 in 2019 to $510,000 by summer 2022. That 76% surge made Phoenix the second fastest appreciating market nationally. Now, reality is setting in. Prices have fallen 14% from peak, currently at $440,000. But in master-planned communities like Surprise, Buckeye, and Queen Creek, declines hit 28%. These exurbs, built rapidly during the boom, now have inventory stacking up. Months of supply reached 4.8, with average days on market at 82. Sellers are panic-cutting prices to avoid carrying costs through brutal summer months. The deeper problem is structural. Phoenix faces existential water supply concerns. Lake Mead at a historic low, as has triggered Tier 2 shortage declarations. New construction restrictions are coming, but that hasn't stopped inventory from piling up. Property insurance has jumped 42% since 2021, driven by extreme heat damage and infrastructure strain. The California buyers have evaporated. With mortgage rates at 7%, the cost of living advantage disappeared. Meanwhile, Arizona property taxes increased 23% as counties reassessed at peak values. Retirees on fixed incomes are getting crushed. If you're considering Phoenix, ask, what's the long-term water solution? Can you handle 115-degree summers and rising cooling costs? Is your equity protected if climate migration reverses? Phoenix's growth story doesn't change the fact that current prices assume continued explosive demand. That demand is gone. Number 7, Las Vegas, Nevada. Las Vegas surged during the pandemic as remote workers discovered low taxes and relative affordability. Median prices jumped from $310,000 in 2019 to $530,000 by early 2022, a 71% increase. Investors piled in, converting single families to rentals. The crash is here. Prices have dropped 16% from peak, sitting at $445,000. In North Las Vegas and Henderson subdivisions, cuts of 25-35% are common. Inventory has exploded to 5.3 months, the highest since the Great Recession. Days on market average 88, with properties sitting through multiple price reductions. Las Vegas never escaped its 2008 trauma, and the market remains speculator-heavy, with 28% of purchases by investors during the boom. Now those investors are liquidating, flooding the supply. The tourism economy, while recovered, hasn't created wage growth to support these prices. Median household income of $67,000 cannot afford median home prices. The ratio is completely disconnected. Water concerns mirror Phoenix. Lake Mead. Restrictions threaten long-term growth. Insurance costs have risen 38% since 2021. Property taxes jumped 19%, after reassessments. The California equity wave that drove demand has reversed as remote work mandates returned. If you're looking at Las Vegas, ask, is the local economy strong enough without speculation? Can you absorb investor liquidation pressure? What happens if tourism softens in a recession? Las Vegas remains a boom-bust market. Right now, it's busting hard, and the bottom isn't clear. Number 6, Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina. The research triangle was supposed to be recession-proof. Tech jobs, universities, and pharmaceutical companies. A diversified economy with an educated workforce. Median prices climbed from $320,000 in 2019 to $525,000 by mid-2022, a 64% jump. The narrative was sustainable growth, not speculation. That confidence is cracking. Prices are down 11% from peak, currently at $467,000. In suburbs like Cary, Apex, and Holly Springs, new construction sits unsold, with 15-22% price cuts. Inventory has reached 4.7 months of supply, with days on market averaging 71. Builders are offering massive incentives. $40,000 in closing costs, rate buy-downs to 5%, desperate to move units. The problem is oversupply. Developers bet on infinite demand, permitting 45,000 new units from 2021 to 2023. That supply is hitting the market exactly as affordability collapsed. A $525,000 home at 3% costs $2,210 monthly. At 7%, it's $3,493, a 58% payment increase. Buyers simply cannot qualify. Tech layoffs at local companies added pressure. While not as severe as Austin or San Francisco, Triangle employers cut 8,000 positions in 2023-2024. Property insurance increased 31% since 2021, driven by hurricane exposure and construction costs. Property taxes rose 16% after Wake County reassessments. If you're considering Raleigh-Durham, ask, can the job market absorb this housing supply? Are you buying into new construction neighborhoods that might sit half empty? Can you handle further price softening? The fundamentals are stronger than pure speculation markets, but prices still overshot significantly. Number 5, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Florida. Tampa Bay was the Florida dream. Beaches, no income tax, and lower costs than Miami. Median prices soared from $275,000 in 2019 to $485,000 by late 2022, a 76% surge. Retirees and remote workers flooded in, driving one of the nation's hottest markets. Now it's imploding. Prices have dropped 17% from peak, currently at $402,000. In areas like Brandon, New Tampa, and Riverview, declines hit 25 to 32%. Inventory has exploded to 6.2 months of supply, with average days on market at 96. Properties sit through multiple reductions, with sellers panic cutting as hurricane season approaches. The insurance crisis is catastrophic. Florida homeowners insurance has increased 210% since 2021, from $1,800 annually to $5,600 on average. In flood zones, coverage costs $8,000, $12,000 yearly, if available at all. Major insurers have withdrawn from Florida entirely. Buyers cannot close without insurance, killing transactions. Hurricane Ian's $112 billion in damage traumatized the market. Properties that flooded once now carry stigma and insurance impossibility. Meanwhile, property taxes jumped 21% as counties reassessed at peak values before the price collapse. HOA fees in coastal condos increased 35-50% for reserves and insurance. Climate migration is reversing. The retirees who drove demand are reconsidering hurricane risk and insurance costs. Remote workers are leaving as companies mandate office returns. The California exodus has stopped. If you're eyeing Tampa, ask, can you afford $6,000 or $12,000 annually for insurance? What's your hurricane preparedness plan? Can you absorb another 10-15% price drop? Tampa's crisis is insurance-driven and worsening. Number 4. Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Florida. Cape Coral was Florida's affordable paradise. Waterfront living without Miami prices attracted retirees and working families. Median prices jumped from $245,000 in 2019 to $450,000 by mid-2022, an 84% surge. The growth story was compelling. Southwest Florida's last affordable market. Hurricane Ian destroyed that story. The September 2022 Category 4 storm caused $75 billion in local damage, devastating entire neighborhoods. Prices have collapsed 23% from peak, now at $347,000. In flood-ravaged areas like Fort Myers Beach, San Carlos, and Pine Island, properties are down 40-55%, if they can sell at all. Insurance has become impossible. Homeowners insurance that cost $2,200 in 2021 now runs $7,800 when available. In FEMA flood zones, add another $6,000, $15,000 annually. Many properties are uninsurable, making them unsellable. Inventory sits at 7.8 months of supply, with days on market averaging 118. Sellers are trapped. They cannot sell without buyers who can get insurance. Property taxes increased 24% as Lee County reassessed before Ian, creating crushing affordability problems. Meanwhile, home insurance companies are using satellite imagery to deny coverage based on roof age, tree proximity, or previous claims. Buyers face 35-40% down payment requirements as lenders require massive reserves. If you're considering Cape Coral, Fort Myers, ask, can you self-insure against hurricane loss? Are you buying in a flood zone? What's the 30-year climate outlook? This market was devastated by a specific event and faces a structural insurance crisis. Recovery will take years, if it comes. Number 3, Orlando, Florida. Orlando rode Disney's coattails and remote work demand to dizzying heights. Median prices exploded from $270,000 in 2019 to $475,000 by early 2022, a 76% jump. The pitch was irresistible. Theme park economy, growing tech sector, no state income tax, sunshine. The collapse is severe. Prices are down 19% from peak, currently at $385,000. In areas like Kissimmee, Davenport, and Dr. Phillips, drops of 28-38% are standard. Inventory has reached 6.9 months of supply, with properties sitting on 103 days on average. Investment properties, Orlando's lifeblood during the boom, are being liquidated en masse. Insurance costs have exploded 285% since 2021, averaging $4,800 annually. Combined with property tax increases of 22%, monthly costs have surged even as home values collapsed. Investors who bought turnkey vacation rentals are underwater, unable to cover mortgages from rental income. Short-term rental regulations tightening across Orange and Osceola counties have crushed cash flow projections. The tourist economy, while strong, doesn't support these prices. Median household income of $61,000 cannot afford the median home prices. Disney's ongoing disputes with the state government have created uncertainty about long-term investment and job growth. If you're looking at Orlando, ask, are you factoring in insurance inflation? Can you handle further price drops? Is the investment property model still viable with regulation changes? Orlando's market was speculation-heavy and investor-driven. Those drivers are reversing simultaneously, creating a perfect storm. Number 2, Miami, Florida. Miami was the ultimate trophy market. International buyers, crypto wealth, and finance migration from New York. It seemed unstoppable. Median condo prices hit $595,000 by early 2022, up 68% from 2019. Single-family homes reached $780,000. The narrative was Miami as the new Manhattan, global city, endless demand, permanent growth. That narrative is shattering. Condo prices have dropped 21% from peak, now at $420,000. Luxury segments are down 30-40% in buildings like Brickell and Edgewater. Inventory has spiked to 8.4 months of supply, the highest since 2009. Days on market average 100 baiken, with properties sitting through repeated price cuts. New condo towers completed in 2023-2024 have units sitting empty, with developers offering 12 months free HOA and $100,000 price cuts. The insurance apocalypse is worse in Miami than anywhere. Condo insurance has increased 205% since 2021, averaging $8,500 per unit. Older buildings face $15,000, $25,000 annual insurance costs. Post-Surfside collapse inspections revealed billions in deferred maintenance. Special assessments of $80,000, $150,000 per unit are hitting buildings simultaneously with insurance explosions and falling values. International buyers have vanished. Crypto wealth evaporated. Finance workers are being called back to New York. Foreign investment dried up as the dollar strengthened, and U.S. political uncertainty grew. Meanwhile, climate risk is repricing waterfront property. Sea level rise projections show significant portions of Miami underwater by 2070. If you're considering Miami, ask, can you afford special assessments plus insurance? What's the 50-year climate outlook for your specific property? Is international buyer demand returning? Miami's crisis combines insurance, climate, and speculative excess. It's a toxic combination. Number 1, Naples, Florida. Naples held the title of Florida's most exclusive market. Ultra-wealthy retirees, private golf clubs, pristine beaches, it was the ultimate destination. Median prices skyrocketed from $425,000 in 2019 to $795,000 by late 2022, an 87% surge. The wealthy were supposed to be recession-proof. They're not hurricane-proof. Hurricane Ian made direct landfall on Naples in September 2022, causing catastrophic damage. Prices have collapsed 26% from peak, now at $588,000. In areas like Naples Park, Golden Gate, and Bonita Springs, drops of 35-48% are common. Luxury waterfront properties, once selling for $35 million, sit unsold at $2.2 million, 50% off peak. The insurance situation is beyond crisis, it's existential. Homeowners insurance in Naples now averages $2,500 annually, up 340% since 2021. Waterfront properties face $25,000 to $45,000 in combined home and flood insurance when coverage is available. Multiple carriers have completely exited the Florida market. Properties are selling as cash only because buyers cannot secure financing without insurance. Property taxes increased 26% after Collier County reassessments at peak values. HOA fees in luxury communities jumped 40-60% for storm preparation and insurance. Wealthy retirees are liquidating and leaving Florida entirely, relocating to the Carolinas, Tennessee, or back north. The fundamental problem: you cannot have a luxury housing market where insurance costs $3,000 monthly. That reality is repricing Naples dramatically. Inventory sits at 9.2 months of supply, the highest in Florida. Days on market average 142. Properties that would sell in 48 hours during the boom now sit for half a year. If you're considering Naples, understand, this is ground zero for Florida's insurance crisis. Climate risk is no longer theoretical, it's actuarial. The wealth that drove this market is mobile and leaving. Insurance costs may never normalize. You're betting on a market where fundamental costs have permanently repriced, while values are still searching for a bottom. Ask yourself, can you self-insure a $1 million property? Are you prepared for direct hurricane hits? What's the exit strategy if insurance remains unavailable? Naples represents the collapse of the Florida dream. Paradise with uninsurable risk. We've just counted down 10 cities where the housing bubble is actively bursting. What you've seen isn't speculation, it's hard data showing price collapses, inventory explosions, insurance catastrophes, and population exodus. The pattern is clear. Markets that surged 60-80% in 2 years are giving back those gains. Cities facing climate risk, insurance crisis, or pure speculation are correcting hardest. This isn't 2008. It's a different crisis with different causes. But the outcome is the same. Buyers and owners losing massive equity. If you're thinking about buying in these markets, ask these questions. Can I afford 7% mortgage rates? Can I handle insurance at $5,000, $12,000 annually? Am I prepared for property values to fall another 10, 20%? Do I have job security if the local economy weakens? What's my exit strategy if I need to sell in a down market? If you're already in these markets, evaluate. Can I refinance if rates drop? Should I sell now before further declines? Can I afford insurance renewals? Am I building equity or treading water? Hit that like button so more people see this data before they buy. Subscribe to the channel for housing market deep dives. We post weekly with the data your realtor won't show you. Drop a comment. Where are you watching from? And what are you seeing in your local market? This content is educational only, not financial advice. Do your own research and consult professionals before making housing decisions. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.